So how you doing?
I'm pretty good today.
Miss Mimms, you want me to call you Miss Mimms or?
No, K is good.
K good.
Some people call me Miss K when they see the gray hair.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
Miss K is fine, or K, either one.
Okay. All right, Kay, nice to have you on the show. I want to thank you for reaching out to LaShawn, right? You reached out to LaShawn.
Well, actually, LaShawn reached out to me. Oh, we saw each other at the
event.
At the event at Rush. And then she sent me the link for the YouTube.
For the YouTube video, and you seen the video.
And then I saw that, and then it was her idea. She said, "You should talk. You and Justin should get together and do a video." I'm going like, video, okay.
Oh, okay. You didn't know what to expect, right? Because you ain't been on YouTube or nothing like that, right?
Not really. I don't know if I was. Somebody did it, and it was just a short clip or something. But to sit down and have an interview, no.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done that.
Oh, okay. So basically, you know, I have lupus, and I've been through many things: heart attacks, strokes, kidney disease, lung surgery, alopecia.
Lung surgery?
Yeah, 2 of them. One was in 2014, and the other one was like 2013, something like that. At 2 separate times on both sides. So I've been through a lot of stuff dealing with lupus, and it's been a battle. So I figured I got a platform. I got YouTube. I can share my story. I can create awareness, and I can help people get through their situations. And I'm in the fitness, so I do fitness as well. So I like to think that helps with, you know, a lot of us suffer from, you know, inflammation and joint stiffness and pain and stuff like that. I don't have those problems, and I credit it to my years of lifting weights and staying active in fitness. So I try to educate and help people how to eat right and how to stay in the gym. So I said, hey, let me start giving interviews with people with lupus. And plus, I want to hear your story from a women's perspective. I'm only used to myself having lupus. Even though it's more common with women, I want to see what's it like for a woman. And everybody's story is different. So that's why this idea came about. And then, you know, it was a chance for people to reach out and share their brand, their story with lupus. So I said, hey, I think I can do that.
That's wonderful. I'm really glad that you're doing it.
Yeah.
For several reasons. First, you know, I want to get my story out there too.
Right.
But I think it's very important that men hear about lupus.
Yes.
Because it's only like 10%. I understand.
Yeah, the ratio is like 9 to 1.
Right.
So it's rare in men, and unluckily for me that I have lupus.
Chosen.
Right, I was chosen.
You were chosen.
And I've been dealing with it since. So when were you first diagnosed with lupus?
Okay, I was diagnosed a little over 13 years ago. I was 59 years old.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But once I started learning about lupus, I feel that I've had the symptoms all my life.
Oh, wow.
In fact, like it started as far back as I can remember. When I was 4, I had sores. One time I had sores in my mouth, or sore spots in my mouth. And that is one of the lupus signs.
Oh, it is.
But it doesn't, that's a symptom of lupus, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what was happening with me.
At that time,
At that time, that's what my doctors are saying. Then other things that happened, this is a fact sheet from the Lupus Society of Illinois. Okay. And it lists, it's like you probably have this already. It's like a brief synopsis of the symptoms of lupus. And this morning I sat down and I checked off. And I have had all these symptoms someplace throughout my life.
Oh, wow.
And I was even, I guess I should go through some of the symptoms like I talked about, the sore spots in the mouth. I remember at 4 years old I had that. Later on in my life, we were at a family reunion out in Vegas one time in August. It was something like 110 degrees. So we were outside in in a picnic, doing a picnic area, and I walked from the shed to the bathrooms, probably, I'd say 30 feet, maybe 50. And when I got to the bathroom, I had blisters on my arm.
Oh, wow.
That's another symptom.
Yeah.
Then, at one point in my life, my eyes, the whites of my eyes turned totally red. That was, I think, a legitimate symptom because the eye doctor that I had at that time had me go to the University of Chicago eye clinic. And the fellows would be coming in and say, come in and look at this, come in and look at this. I'm going like, well, what is it? And they tested me for everything. It's like every year this would happen for about 5 years.
Damn.
And then after about 5 weeks, it would just clear up. They would try different drops and whatever. And they finally, after 5 years, they finally decided that it was arthritis of the eye.
Oh.
I'd never heard of it.
Me neither.
So I think then they were actually evaluating me for lupus, but I don't remember hearing anybody say that.
Right.
Later on, another ophthalmologist, the same thing started happening again. So that doctor actually wrote a letter to my primary and said that I needed to be evaluated for lupus. They did the evaluation and it came back negative. And I was glad about that because 2 of my nieces died from lupus. So, I didn't want to have lupus, but I was glad that they didn't have that synopsis, but I still didn't know what was happening with me.
Right.
After that, I had skin problems with my skin, lesions on my arm. My face, like in this part of my face, was turning lighter than the rest of me. I saw a dermatologist. She had me evaluated for lupus. No lupus. Those were early on in my life. So at the age of 59, I had joint pains. I had lack of appetite. I was losing weight. I was always plump, so losing weight was a good thing.
Right.
But it really wasn't because I couldn't figure out why I didn't have this appetite that I needed.
Right.
And what else was happening? I was tired all the time. I like to work out too.
Oh, okay.
I shouldn't say work out. I go to the gym and I do some exercises, group exercises and whatever. I would almost crawl to the gym.
Oh, wow.
Come back home, get on the couch. I knew I needed to eat. I try to get up, try to make some soup, try to get that down, go to sleep, get up later, start dinner, have to turn the stove off because I was getting sleepy. So I was super tired. We were on a cruise in 2005, and everything was good. It was in the Caribbean. One night at dinner, after dinner, I went to stand up. I couldn't stand up. Finally stood up. Cecil's my husband. He had to help me to the cabin. I was so cold. This is in the Caribbean. I'm cold. I turned the heat on. I put all kinds of blankets on me and everything, trying to warm up. I was aching so bad. It was like my feet were throbbing like a toothache.
Right.
But it was in my feet.
Right.
So, and I took aspirin and whatever, and I would never take anything.
Yeah.
And so, the next morning I felt better. And we went out in the sun doing things, but I wasn't, I was feeling tired all the time and cold. Got back home and I decided, we're gonna find out what this is. My husband's cousin is a medical physician, medical doctor, so he had gone to school with 3 people who love to solve medical mysteries. So he referred me to them, and I went to see the first one that I got into, and he said to me, he looked at everything, all of my records, talked to me, the whole thing, checked out my symptoms, and before we left that day, he looked at me and he said, we're going to find out what's wrong with you. It was like, sarcoidosis.
Sarcoidosis.
Sarcoidosis. But he said, I'm looking for one more test result. A week later, he called me, it's lupus? I'm like, oh, okay. And he made an appointment with a rheumatologist. But I couldn't get in to see the rheumatologist for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So the weekend before I was supposed to see her, things got even worse. I started coughing up like a pinkish mucus.
Oh.
I could barely walk, go to the bathroom, stuff like that. So Cecil says to me, if you're not better tomorrow, you're going to the emergency room at Northwestern, because that's where that doctor was. So I went. They discovered that my heart was in stress. So I was admitted. They told me I could wait until the next day to see the rheumatologist, but I'm glad I didn't. That night, I hemorrhaged. My lungs were seeping blood.
Oh, wow.
They didn't realize that. And I ended up almost bleeding out. I was intubated, sedated for 65 days in ICU. When my body finally started to get better and I could come off the vent. No, I didn't actually come off the vent, but I could move out of ICU. I couldn't walk or talk. So then I had to do in-house rehab for 3 weeks. When I finished that, I could walk on the walker, but I was in a wheelchair most of the time. Then I had at-home therapy and outpatient therapy for several more months. And today I line dance. That's my story.
Oh, wow. That's a very traumatic experience with lupus. Like, for me, for the most part, I didn't have pain. I'm never tired. I function pretty much normally. It's just I have these big series of events like the heart attack, the strokes, the kidney issues, which is the kidney disease is undetectable. There are no symptoms. So you walking around and something could be wrong with you. So I have more issues like that, but I'm never tired. I'm not in pain. Like, after I had them strokes, I did have neck pain for like 2 months, but back pain every now and then, but none consistent, none like that. So it's different. It's something that reminds me, like, my blood pressure is constantly, my blood pressure is constantly on my mind. I can hear my blood pressure. And I used to play basketball a lot. I can't play basketball no more because I get dizzy. I'm dizzy all the time. So, and I lost a little vision from my stroke. My latest stroke in November. So, I get reminded constantly that you can't do this no more. You got lupus. So, do you have those similar experiences?
The one that I think about more than any other probably is, I used to sing in the choir at church.
Okay.
And I was a pretty good alto. And I can't sing.
Yeah. Your voice, like, how did that happen?
I'm to the point, that's where I was on that intubated.
I
was intubated for all that time.
Right.
And I couldn't, my vocal cords were paralyzed.
Wow.
But now, I went through speech therapy. And they tell me now, like when you see it on a CAT scan or whatever they do, they're moving the way they should. But I think I don't have the breath support to sustain a note. So I might be able to hit a note and it sounds okay, but I can't sustain it long enough to sing a song.
Oh, wow.
To sing,
Dang. So you
I miss that.
Right. So you are constantly reminded, like, in different ways, like, we both get reminded that you can't do this no more. Some complications, you explain this. What are some of your complications with lupus? Like, what affects you every day? You just said the stiffness in the shoulder.
Well, like I said, this started in October, so this is something new.
No.
They're working on it.
Okay.
They say I have a pinched nerve, and they don't think it's lupus related. I should say that too.
Okay.
They don't think it's lupus related, so we'll see. But there are things that happen with my knee. I can't do more than one flight of stairs.
Oh.
And that's with I guess it's a lung issue too, without resting. And I have to always be holding on to a rail. I used to be able to just run up the stairs. I can't do that.
I be thinking though, like, okay, everyone's getting old too. You don't get everything in life forever.
Right.
Like, we are moving towards death, so
Now he's calling me old.
no, I'm not. Even with myself, because I expect myself to do certain things forever. Like play basketball. Like there's cutoffs. You soar, you know, your knees start giving out. Like you can't do it forever, you know. So I say there is, you know, a limit to some of the things that we think we're supposed to have forever. So.
And that is something too. With my age, there are things that happen, and I have to ask myself, okay, is it lupus? Is it age?
Right, exactly.
Which is it? Yeah. And I definitely don't want to have to take any more
medicine. No.
So sometimes I just say, you know, let it go. It's age or whatever.
Exactly.
You know, unless it's internal and something shows up in the blood.
Oh, right, exactly.
Then I'm going like, okay, this is the lupus thing, so we have to do something about it.
Right. So, your support system. I seen your husband. What's his name again? Cecil. You have a support system.
Definitely.
I think that's big. I'm looking for a support system. You guys gonna be my support for lupus. So, I
have to say a word about Cecil.
Okay, go ahead.
When I was in ICU, Cecil was there all the time. I had a doctor come through one time and he said, I've never been in here, and he wasn't here.
Wow.
So he was there from it was like a job from 7 in the morning to 8 or maybe 8 when the visiting hours were over.
Oh,
That's
wow.
when he would leave. He even had, I like to joke and say, have you ever seen anybody have physical therapy in ICU?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Wow.
Because of him. That's how supportive he is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
I feel very blessed that I have him, my doctors, my family members, my daughters, my church groups. They're very supportive.
Oh,
of me.
okay.
So.
That's good. You need support. You need help with this. I like this. Sometimes people without lupus, they don't understand the day in and day out of lupus, and you know, sometimes I know I'm quiet about my symptoms and my issues with lupus, and I don't express that to everyone. And it's good to have somebody who's fighting it with you, who's there, who shows interest in it, and it just gives you that support you need. So that's good to have support. I wish he was in here so I could say this in front of him, but he'll see the video. So
he knows how I feel. It's
exactly right. It's probably in the book, and we're gonna show you the book. Make sure you go get that and order it. I have links. You got a link to this for your book, so people can access it.
I can probably set up one. Because Hilton Publishing Company.
Okay.
It's at Amazon.com.
Oh, it's on Amazon.
It's
so
on
yeah,
Amazon.
I'm gonna have the links to her book. You can find it on Amazon, so don't worry about it.
And then Hilton Publication.
Okay.
That's another one.
I'm gonna get you links up for it. You covered this a little already, but do you exercise?
You know, I was on a real good plan for myself. Mondays I would do line dancing. Tuesday I would do silver Pilates and aqua aerobics, and then Wednesday I would do the UB machine.
Okay.
Because they told me one time I had a
rotator
and damaged rotator cuff. And Thursday, what would I do? I'd go back to the Pilates, and then Friday I would do a set of physical therapy things that I had learned through the years. So I had a really good regimen until about 2 years ago, when I started on this second book, and it took up so much time that I kind of got out of sync. So I don't feel good about what the exercise that I'm doing now. Monday I did silver sneakers, and then that's the only Tuesday I had Tuesday and Wednesday physical therapy. So that's what was taking it away from it now. Oh. But I do love to exercise.
You find it beneficial to you?
Definitely.
Like, does it? You can see improvement in your function?
I think that's part of the reason I have this going on now.
Oh, okay.
Because for the last 2 years, I wasn't exercising the way I had been, and I hadn't been doing the physical therapy. So when you start to not do, and I could tell other things too, with my knees, and having, when I walk around or try to use the stairs, yeah, it makes a difference.
You heard that. You hear that. You start exercising. Get up and exercise. Get your routine.
Yep.
Just don't exercise. You need a routine to do it every day. It's part of your life. As you age, you should be exercising because your body is forgetting how to function. You got to teach it. You got to retrain it every day. So.
And it doesn't have to be lifting weights.
It don't necessarily have. Yeah, it doesn't. You can walk. You can do classes, anything. But I do weight training. So, what is the biggest issue you face with lupus? Like, what's something that you dread, like you regret, or like you like, dang, what's your biggest problem with lupus?
It's hard for me to pull up the biggest problem. I think because I try to be so positive about it. So I try not to look at the downside, but I do get tired of taking meds.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's a regimen, when I get up, thyroid medication. For breakfast, well, then I have to use nasal spray. And then I have to put drops in my eyes morning and night because I have the glaucoma and I just had cataract surgery, too. So that's the age thing.
Right.
I'm on Plaquenil, but they're saying that cataract thing and all of the eye problems now that I have now, they're age-related, not lupus-related. So I'm glad about that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, the whole med routine is...
Yeah, it gets drunk. Yeah, I could relate. If anybody can, I can.
And I always wonder, what is it doing to my body?
Always. Me
what
too.
Is it doing? Thank God I only had to do the prednisone for 2 years. After 2 years, they were able to take me off the prednisone.
Oh, wow.
But I did do chemotherapy, when I had the big flare. I had chemotherapy and prednisone, and then after 2 years, they took me off the prednisone, put me on Plaquenil, and I take several other meds. I take like 17 pills.
I take about 15.
And I'm down from 22.
Oh, wow.
So,
I was at 20, 30 at one time.
Yep.
Before. So I definitely can. When it first started, it was the worst for me. So I'm maybe around 13, maybe 14 pills a day. So it is a regimen that you got to follow when you dealing with lupus. Like, it's a full-time job. You have to go to appointments. You have to take medications. You have to see different doctors. You got to make sure this right. Then if a new symptom pop up, it's a full-time job.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know how anybody can hold down a regular job. If they
That's why I'm trying to make this my job.
If they got some issue-related, symptoms. If the symptoms are there, like some people don't have that many symptoms.
Yeah, some people. They get away. Yeah. Luckily, I think my auntie had skin lupus. And you just had the abrasions and stuff. Yeah, that's it. But the internal lupus nephritis, what I have, the kidney issue, like I had lung problems, heart attack, stuff just pop up out of the blue. And you would think, as a trainer, I give some of my clients, they look at me like, man, you one of the healthiest people I know. So I might as well stop working out now because I ain't got no chance. I'm like, don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? I got lupus. That's why I'm going through this. You okay? So you need to be working out. So they be joking with me saying stuff like that, but I be like, man, it's just me. You need to work. There ain't no excuse for you. So go hard, stay consistent, and keep doing this. It's gonna pay off.
I feel I was blessed because the lupus diagnosis, even though I was having what I think were lupus-like symptoms throughout my life, and I was in the doctor's office a lot, but I had very good doctors. They just couldn't figure out what it was, and in a way, I think maybe that was good, because then it would have put me on some heavy meds.
Yeah.
And that might not have been so good.
Right.
But when I was diagnosed, I had retired. I had been retired for a year.
Right.
So that really was a big switch in my life, because after I retired, then I was having fun.
Oh, okay.
I was doing stuff, you know. And then the lupus hit, and I couldn't do those things anymore.
Dang. Speaking of having fun, what are your hobbies? What are your things? I see you wrote books before. I'm in the process of writing books. My redemption story is going to show how lupus first started, how I gained weight and I lost all the weight, and things like that. But you write books, I see, and do other things. Like, what are some of the hobbies you enjoy?
I love playing Sudoku.
Oh, me too. I
Do
love
you?
that game. I love it.
Love it.
Especially when you're on the plane or you going somewhere,
I
you
tear
can
'em
just,
out.
yeah. Okay.
There's no magazine left.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean,
It's a brain game. It keeps
Yeah.
your brain
Right.
healthy. And
some people would say that's not enough, but I really
I
enjoy
enjoy it too.
I really
do
enjoy
too.
that. I love line dancing.
What is that?
Dancing to music in groups. You've never seen line dancing?
No.
Wow.
No. Oh my God.
Wow. You never did Jamie Foxx?
You know, Jamie Foxx. That's my boy. I don't know about line dancing. No.
A lot of songs. I mean, a lot of the, like, I guess it's rhythm and blues and stuff, like Michael Jackson songs, or even Maze, and you probably don't know Maze.
Yeah, no, I just put a song on one of my other videos, Frankie Beverly and May.
Frankie Beverly.
Yeah.
But anyway, they take the songs and then people program or choreograph dances to the songs. And then they're big groups of people.
Okay.
Like one of my classes had like probably 35, 40 people in it. And you're all dancing
Oh, okay.
using the same steps.
Oh,
That's
wow.
line dancing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. No, I'm gonna look it up.
Look up Jamie Foxx
Jamie Foxx.
Rounder. That's
Okay.
my favorite one.
Yeah.
But I like to do that.
He
yeah.
real good and talented.
And I love to read.
Oh yeah, me too.
I love to read.
I've been diving into business and managing finances properly. You want to have money to retire, and a lot of us don't know nothing about it.
Right.
Until it's too late, you know. But
And then
people are living older too, so it's a problem.
And you don't know if you're gonna have Social Security.
Exactly.
So you have to create your own.
So what is your mission with lupus? Like, what do you look to do?
After the big lupus flare, and I started doing volunteer work, I realized, like at health fairs and whatever, there are some people just don't know about lupus.
They don't know. I didn't know.
I didn't know. They don't know, or you get the people who think they know, and they got a lot of wrong information.
Oh, okay.
And so my mission, in fact, in my Sunday school class, Harry in my Sunday school class, he always tells me that this is my ministry, and that is to increase lupus awareness.
Yeah.
I want everybody to know the right facts about lupus. And also I want people to get involved in research, to know about research. And research doesn't have to mean that you get a pill or that they testing stuff on you.
Yeah.
It could just be giving information about how you're doing.
Right.
And they take that information and they compare it with people who don't have lupus, and they see what the differences are. Yeah. And they come up with conclusions. Yeah. So different ways that people can get involved in research. So those are two main things: lupus awareness, research, and finding a way to diagnose it sooner.
Faster, yeah.
Sooner, yeah. You know, even if I don't want to do anything about it, let me know what I have. Yeah. And what I can do about it.
Yeah, some preventative measures to help you out in the long run.
Right. So that's the reason for the books. That's the reason I attend health fairs. Sometimes I try to go and speak at churches and organizations and pass out information.
Oh, okay.
I want people to know.
Well, yeah, just awareness. Just awareness. Because like I said, I didn't know about lupus until it hit me. And when it started on me, I was dumbfounded. I ignored it, really, to be honest. I was like, I don't have this, and I want nothing to do with it. I'm just being honest. And
what were some of your first symptoms?
I had ascites of the liver. So
Whoa.
I started, I had fluid buildup on my liver out of nowhere, and real sharp pain in my torso area. I couldn't go to work, and I started getting chills and night sweats, and my testicles swelled up. And I went to the doctor. I mean, they got to the size of a small apple.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So everybody around me, I was asking my father, I was asking friends, like, man, excuse my language, your balls swell up like this at that age. So, you know, you young and you didn't know nobody you can relate to. And I went through that for like a month or so. And then I lost weight. And I got weak and real sleepy for like a day or two in a row. And I was like, what's wrong with me? And I threw up some black stuff. I don't know what it was to this day. And but that was the start, I know, of my lupus. Mm-hmm. Like, something happened where all of this triggered, and then it was like a nightmare. It was crazy. Like, I could remember vomiting up black stuff. And it was surreal. It was crazy. And I was thinking, like, I can't live life like this, you know. I was active in the gym. I never did drugs. I wasn't an alcoholic or anything like that. It just took over my life, like, wow. And then it went away for like 8 months. Mm. I went back to normal.
Did you went to the doctor?
I went to the doctor, and they was like, I think his name, Dr. Abrams. He was like, I'm thinking you might have lupus, and they gave me a pamphlet with lupus, and I was just in denial, like, man, this ain't true. I'm not gonna read this, and I'm not going to events like the ones I just went to. None of that. So I didn't go to any events. I didn't do it. Then like 8-10 months went by. I was in the hospital again with kidney issues, looking at the lights, and I had pneumonia. Then a stroke came, and then it was on.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was really intense. Like I said, I'm writing my book. I keep saying that.
You can write more than one.
Yeah. So I plan
to make it plain and simple.
Simple, yeah.
There you do.
Yeah. I got a lot of work to do.
Because some people can't handle all of it.
All of it, yeah.
All of it. Like in the first book, 20 of us wrote. 20? 20 people wrote about their experiences. 18, I'll say patients, I like to say warriors. 18 warriors, 5 family members, and 2 of my doctors wrote in this book.
Dang.
In this one, some of the people who wrote in the first one have written in this one. Mm. And then we have some new people, and then there's a whole segment on research. People who've been involved in research. Mm-hmm. And one is a story about Chanel Gabriel. I don't know if you've heard that name.
No.
But she's an actress, and she talks about her research experience. So.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to put it all in. You don't have to wait until you got a whole book.
Right.
You can write
bits and pieces until it comes together. I got a lot of information in mind already, a lot. So I need to get it out to someone, let them read it and see what they think, and get it ready to get published and all that. But majority of it is done. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of excited about that. But I'm building my brand right now. I'm getting subscribers. I'm getting an audience. And I really look forward to sharing not just my lupus story, my story in general, how I grew up and how I never had support for anything. Even to this day, I've had heart attacks, strokes, and I had minimal support from my mother, my father, no one really. So you just out on your own. So I'm looking to share that with people, and hopefully I can make some of myself with this. So I'm kind of excited about it.
Good.
Yeah. So
That's good. There are people who need to hear your story.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though you might have had some things happen that were not the best situation, you didn't let it get you down. You're striving to pull yourself up.
Man, I want to be a testimony to people.
Yeah.
And so people tell me, "Oh, you don't know about my life. It's been hard." I be like, "You just don't know. you just really don't know." So
you are blessed to be here.
Yeah.
All that stuff going on.
Right. So, and to this, like right now, my kidney, I think my blood pressure is consistently high. So I'm still in the work. It's still a process. It ain't over. I still got to fight. I'm still looking at ways to get my blood pressure down, and I still got all the fights of young people. You still got to work, find a way to get income. You still got to be a father. You still got to think about the future. You still want things in life. So all of that, you got to worry about all of that and virtually no help. So,
Plus, you might not, there are probably days where you don't even feel like getting up.
No, I can say honestly, I feel like getting up every day. There's not times where I'm laying in the bed like I'm tired. I can say I pop up every day. So I'm thankful for that, because I hear stories about people who can't get out the bed. So I'm thankful to have energy, and I can't sleep actually. I try to lay in the bed sometimes and I can't sleep. So once I get my 7 hours, 6-7 hours, I'm up. And I don't really go to sleep. So I can say that, but that's a gift and a curse, because sometimes you want to sleep just to just let time pass by, because you don't want to worry about your kidney. You don't want to worry about having another heart attack or things like that. So it can, I manage, so yeah. So
yeah, I sleep pretty good, and I'm kind of like you. But once I wake up, I may lie there for a while. I usually say my prayers before I get out of bed. That could take forever. And sometimes at night I might wake up, get up, go to the bathroom, come back. If I can't go back to sleep, I say my prayers. Then I drift out to sleep. Then I wake up later and say, okay, where was I?
Oh, wow.
And I have to go back again. So that helps me with sleep.
Oh, okay.
And now later on in the day, in the early afternoon, I might get sleepy. But I don't know if that's lupus or age or
right.
what. But I'm on the go pretty much. So.
Right, yeah.
And I just get on the couch, get a blanket, go to sleep.
Exactly.
Wake up and start over again.
Get rest in, because they say that's good for your blood pressure. And just lupus in general, they say get rest, extra rest. So I try to take naps, but you got bills and stuff looming over your head, so it's kind of tough to do that consistently. And then you got to focus on some way to generate money, so it's kind of tough. So, and it's all on you. There's no support, no nothing. So I'm doing what I can, until, I'm fighting, I'm fighting. I go to the gym, though. I'm working on my health, and I'm working on my income, and I'm optimistic that things will get better in due time,
right.
So I have that, so, but
it's good.
Yeah.
Keep the positive attitude.
Yeah. What is your prognosis? What does lupus look like for you in the future? Like,
I think age will probably take me away before lupus.
For real? Oh, okay.
I'm hoping I don't have kidney involvement. None.
That's
no kidney
good.
involvement.
That's good. You never had kidney involvement?
No.
Wow.
No. I feel really blessed about that.
Yeah.
I don't think my brain is... I don't think stuff is happening. She still may say different, but I think my brain is okay.
Oh, okay.
But I do have other issues. I don't really take heart medicine or lung medicine per se, even though that's what really put me in ICU.
Oh, okay.
Those two things. But and I think the exercise helps with those.
Yeah, right.
In fact, when I exercise, believe it or not, my throat even clears up more.
Oh,
I can get the mucus up better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that's the lung thing. I don't know.
Right.
Working out. But I've been on the same meds for 14 years. They decreased some of them and took a couple away. I think it's pretty well under control. I know what my limitations are, and I try to stay within that. I don't try to do 2 or 3 things a day. It just does not work.
Right.
And if I don't feel like doing something, the dishes can wait. I've got that down most of the time.
Right.
There's some times when I just it's like, no, this got to be done. And I try to figure out a way to deal with it.
Right.
If it means asking for help.
Right.
Then I've learned to do that.
Right.
So I have lupus, but I seem to be doing okay.
Right, and again, she looks very normal. You can't tell if she has lupus unless she tells you. So it's mysterious for her too. Lupus hits anyone at any age. Obviously, she said she had it way before the age of 59. You got diagnosed at 59, but it's around. So if you got kidney issues, if you feel tired all the time, if you got lung or blood or stomach, kidney issues or heart issues, get checked out. You might have lupus. Don't wait and hide. You want to get on top of it and discover, because you can get treatment. So don't do what I did. I ignored my diagnosis, really. I didn't want to go meet with doctors. I was in denial, but I can say being in denial helped me to be stronger. I think it helped me to fight harder, not put stuff in my body, not be an alcoholic, not do drugs, not do certain things. I wanted to be healthy as possible, and I figured weight training. I used to run a lot too. I used to run for miles, so health was a big concern for me. So I can't credit that to my success. So, but yeah, that's really all I got. Really.
Can I
you
just
want to
share
say
a couple
something?
things? The American, what is it? Rheumatology, American College of Rheumatology, Lupus Society of Illinois. There are organizations that you can go to and get information to help you if you've been diagnosed, to help you maintain. For the American College of Rheumatology, the first thing they have on here, first, get involved in your care, learn as much as you can about lupus. That's the very first thing. Learn as much as you can through these organizations that provide information. And then keep a good relationship with your doctors.
Right. Yeah, that's big for me.
Learn what it is, even if you don't want to take meds. Learn that they are there.
Yeah, just know about it.
Just know about it.
Yeah. That's crucial information. It's good to have knowledge about anything instead of going into something blind. Always have knowledge. What could happen to you? Have possibilities. I think be prepared. It's like with retirement. You want to be prepared for that stuff. Have knowledge. Okay, if this happens, I'm gonna do this. But if you're going into something blind, chances are you're gonna fail, and you don't want to fail at your health. So take those steps and prepare so you can be better off. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. I don't know if you got something else to say. We're gonna have links to whatever you give me. So a link to Amazon where you can find these books, so you can grab these books and read them and check them out. We're gonna have, you got any website or anything else you want, your shirts or anything?
Yeah, this is a shirt for my Southern Suburbs Illinois Lupus Walk.
Oh, okay.
This is my team, K's Hope for a Cure.
Oh, okay.
We have a walk in the actually they have LSI, Lupus Society has 4 walks. In May is Lupus Awareness Month.
Oh, okay.
And we have one in South Suburban. Ours in South Suburban area is in May. Chicago just had one, and then one is in Naperville, and one is up north Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So those are things that happen, and the money is used to support lupus patients and research. Finally, for me,
okay,
lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease. It's a disease where the body attacks itself. It's difficult to diagnose because the symptoms may vary by individual.
Right.
May come and go over time. Also, the symptoms may mimic other diseases and are often dismissed as not being serious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you need to know.
You
need to know that.
Yeah.
It's not contagious.
Yeah.
Some people
can't
think
spread it. Yeah.
Some people think it's cancer, HIV/AIDS.
No.
Not so. But there's no cure for it yet.
Right.
We're working on that, and that's where research comes in.
Right. So. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you so much, Justin.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you.
I'm so glad we met.
Yeah, for real. I'm glad you reached out to me, and I'm glad we did this. We're gonna do it again, hopefully in a few months, and check on you, see how you doing, and see if we reach somebody.
Okay.
You know.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you for
so
coming.
Much.
Y'all.
Appreciate
it.